Two people are in the living room. One is settled on the couch, the other is walking toward the doorway. The family dog enters, walks right past the person on the couch, and sits directly at the standing person's feet. It is a scenario that sparks an identical debate in households everywhere, determining exactly who the family dog loves more. We tend to interpret this proximity through a human lens. We assume the animal is actively reciprocating our emotional attachment and choosing to spend time with the person they feel closest to. Researchers refer to this assumption as a sentimental preference. It is the belief that a dog's choice of companion mirrors our human concept of a deep, soulmate-level emotional bond. But this interpretation relies entirely on human metrics. When we look strictly at the animal's behavioral mechanics, the evidence points in a different direction. Dogs do not navigate their homes by measuring emotional warmth. They navigate by running continuous, unseen calculations based on their immediate environment. The dog sitting at the doorway hasn't made a declaration of pure affection. That choice is the result of cold, calculated pragmatism. To understand how this works, we have to look at the household from the floor up. In reality, dogs behave less like emotional companions and more like data analysts. Every routine is treated as data. In this floor plan, human movements to the kitchen or door create actionable tracking paths. Stripping away human bias, the dog's marker appears on the map, continuously calculating the distance to each moving person. This leads to a behavior known as orientation. The dog physically positions its body in a room based directly on the behavioral patterns it has mapped. Orientation serves a specific purpose: prediction. When a dog follows you, it is not requesting affection. It is positioning itself to predict your next action. The human sees a pet asking for attention. The dog sees a human whose current trajectory indicates a high probability of action. To decide which human to track, the dog evaluates the people around them based on who reliably provides resources, looking for the most consistent source. A dog resting by your chair is giving you a real-time display of a probability calculation. Consistency simply outweighs sentiment. Of course, dogs aren't tracking every single movement equally. They specifically monitor for events that matter to them, the actions that directly result in survival resources or environmental enrichment. This bar chart measures two family members, highlighting who triggers high-value food events at the refrigerator. Shifting to a scatter plot, we see the exact timing and predictability of one member grabbing the leash over a 7-day period. The dog seeks out the catalyst. They actively shadow the individual who serves as the most reliable trigger for these specific high-value occurrences. This explains why a dog will walk away from someone offering heavy petting and belly rubs to follow someone who is quietly walking toward the pantry. Earning the title of favorite person is simply an acknowledgement that you hold the highest statistical probability of triggering a high-value event. Hearing this pragmatic breakdown often makes people uncomfortable. It raises the question of whether our dogs actually care about us at all. But stripping away the human interpretation doesn't diminish the relationship. This calculated tracking is a different, much deeper form of loyalty. In the canine mind, there is no distinction between consistency and trust. The daily repetition of reliable outcomes creates a profound psychological anchor. Humans demonstrate care through physical touch and conversation. Dogs build trust through the unbroken, reliable provision of resources. If you want to change your status in the household hierarchy, you have to change your routine. You need to become the primary architect of the events your dog values. Winning a dog's ultimate devotion requires abandoning our expectations of pure sentimentality. It takes the daily, pragmatic work of becoming the most reliable provider in their world.